At 79, Hayley Mills finally broke her silence, revealing the untold truth about Maureen O'Hara, a woman who deeply shaped her journey through Hollywood. But before that confession stunned her fans, Hayley's story had already begun in the heart of London, where she was born into one of Britain's most extraordinary artistic families. Born Hayley Catherine Rose Vivian Mills on April 18, 1946, she was the daughter of two creative powerhouses. Her father, Sir John Mills, wasn't just a respected name, he was a cinematic legend, delivering unforgettable performances in classics like Great Expectations and Ryan's Daughter. Her mother, Mary Hayley Bell, was equally talented, a gifted playwright and novelist whose words captured emotion as vividly as her husband's acting. In a home where art wasn't just a career, but a way of life, Hayley grew up surrounded by stories, scripts, and the magic of performance. Her parents didn't just teach her about fame, they taught her discipline, passion, and respect for the craft. That creative environment didn't just nurture her, it prepared her to carry the Mills legacy into a new generation. It's no surprise then that her entrance into film felt almost destined. At just 12 years old, Hayley made her debut in the 1959 British crime drama Tiger Bay, starring alongside her father. What no one expected was that this shy, bright-eyed girl would steal every scene she appeared in. Her natural charm, emotional depth, and raw authenticity made audiences fall instantly in love with her, and it didn't take long for the right person to notice. That person was Walt Disney himself. After watching her performance, Disney saw in Hayley something rare, a spark that perfectly captured the innocence and intelligence of youth. She wasn't just another young actress, she was the very embodiment of the spirit Disney wanted his films to represent. From that moment, Hayley Mills wasn't just a child star, she became a symbol of timeless charm and grace in family cinema. But behind that radiant smile and Disney-perfect image, there were stories, truths, and hidden emotions that would only come to light decades later, including her honest revelation about Maureen O'Hara. Before long, Hayley Mills found herself stepping into a life-changing moment, signing a contract with Walt Disney Studios. That signature didn't just open doors, it marked the start of a magical collaboration that would catapult her to worldwide fame. Her debut Disney film, Pollyanna, 1960, transformed her from a talented newcomer into a global darling. Playing the cheerful orphan who could find sunshine in the darkest corners, Hayley gave a performance so pure and full of heart that audiences instantly fell in love with her. Her portrayal didn't just move hearts, it made history. Pollyanna earned her the Academy Juvenile Award, placing her among the youngest stars ever to receive an Oscar. Even decades later, the film remains one of Disney's timeless treasures, and that's largely because of Hayley's warmth and authenticity. Her ability to radiate kindness and optimism made her the face of Disney magic in the early 1960s, a symbol of hope and innocence that audiences around the world adored. Riding the wave of Pollyanna's success, Hayley took on an even more ambitious challenge with The Parent Trap, 1961. This time, she didn't just play one role, she played two. As identical twins Susan and Sharon separated at birth and reunited at summer camp, Hayley proved she was more than just a charming young star. She brought humor, depth, and remarkable skill to both characters, switching effortlessly between them with perfect timing and emotional clarity. The film wasn't just a hit, it became a cultural touchstone. It showcased her growing maturity as an actress and highlighted groundbreaking film technology for its time. With The Parent Trap, Hayley cemented her place as one of Hollywood's brightest young talents, capable of carrying a blockbuster entirely on her own. Throughout the 1960s, Hayley continued to sparkle in a string of Disney hits: In Search of the Castaways, 1962, Summer Magic, 1963, and That Darn Cat, 1965. Each movie reinforced her image as Disney's golden girl, the radiant face of family entertainment full of innocence, charm, and adventure. But as the decade went on, Hayley yearned for something deeper. She wanted to be more than the sweet, smiling child star everyone adored. She wanted to be taken seriously as an actress. That shift came with The Family Way, 1966, a role that marked her bold step into adulthood. The film showed a new side of Hayley, thoughtful, layered, and daring, revealing a performer who was evolving beyond her Disney roots. In the years that followed, Hayley Mills never drifted away from the screen. She remained a respected figure in film, television, and theater, earning admiration for her grace, professionalism, and versatility. Her work spanned decades, and her impact on the industry endured. In 2000, Disney honored her with the Disney Legends Award, a fitting tribute to the young woman whose light had helped define the studio's golden era. Off-screen, Hayley used her voice for something bigger than fame. She became a passionate advocate for young actors, often speaking candidly about the struggles of growing up under the relentless glare of the spotlight. She emphasized the importance of staying grounded and preserving one's sense of self, lessons she had learned firsthand. And it was during one of the most pivotal moments of her young adulthood, while filming The Family Way in 1966, that 20-year-old Hayley Mills met director Roy Bolting, a 53-year-old filmmaker already established as one of Britain's finest. The bond between the young actress and the much older director instantly became a talking point, stirring both fascination and controversy. With a 33-year age gap separating them, many found it difficult to accept that the same girl who once charmed audiences as Disney's innocent star from Pollyanna and The Parent Trap was now romantically involved with a man old enough to be her father. Yet despite the noise and judgment, Hayley Mills felt an undeniable pull towards Bolting's intellect, wit, and worldly sophistication. For his part, Bolting was captivated by her spark, her independent spirit, her talent, and the freshness she brought into every room. What began as a creative connection soon evolved into something deeper. While their romance defied convention, Mills saw in him not only a partner, but also a mentor, someone who challenged her to shed her child star image and step into adulthood with confidence. In 1971, at just 25 years old, Mills married Bolting, who was 58 years old at the time. Together, they built a life that mirrored their shared artistic temperament, bohemian yet refined. Their days were split between a stylish flat in London's Chelsea district, a hub for writers and artists, and their country retreat, a breathtaking converted windmill in Ibstone, Buckinghamshire. That windmill became symbolic of their union, beautiful, unconventional, and set apart from the rest of the world. They spent their days hosting friends from the entertainment world, enjoying simple pleasures like countryside walks through the Chiltern Hills, and savoring the peace of rural life. But as idyllic as it all seemed, cracks slowly began to show. The vast age gap, conflicting priorities, and the natural evolution of two very different people began to wear at the bond they'd built. After several years of trying to bridge those differences, the couple quietly ended their marriage in 1977. Though their union was short-lived, it marked a defining period in Mills's life, a personal transformation from the sweet Disney darling into an independent woman forging her own identity. During their time together, they welcomed a son, Crispian Mills, who would later follow in their creative footsteps. Crispian carried the artistic torch of both his parents, his mother's love for performance and his father's passion for creating behind the scenes. By the 1990s, he emerged as a defining voice of British rock as the frontman, lead guitarist, and songwriter for the band Kula Shaker. Known for blending psychedelic rock with Indian spiritual influences, Crispian carved out a distinct musical identity that reflected both curiosity and depth, qualities his mother often admired in him. Despite growing up under the weight of famous parents, he crafted his own legacy, and Hayley never hid how proud she was of his success. After her divorce from Bolting, Mills found love again, this time with actor Lee Lawson, a rising name in British television and film. Their connection, which blossomed in the mid-1970s, was rooted in mutual admiration and creative passion. In July 1976, the couple welcomed a son, Jason Lawson, adding another bright chapter to Hayley's life. For a time, their relationship brought her the warmth and companionship she longed for after the emotional storm of her divorce. But with both pursuing demanding careers, the pressures of fame and time gradually pulled them apart. Still, that relationship, like the one before, played a significant role in shaping Hayley Mills into the strong, self-aware woman she ultimately became. By the early 1980s, the couple decided to part ways on good terms, choosing independence over togetherness, while still remaining devoted co-parents and respectful colleagues in the entertainment world. After dedicating several quiet years to her craft and her family, Hayley Mills discovered love once again, this time in a chapter she never expected to write. In 1997, she crossed paths with actor and writer Fergus Bomji, a man 2 decades younger than her, during a touring production of The King and I. She took on the role of Anna Leonowens, while Bomji played the king himself. What began as on-stage chemistry soon blossomed into something far deeper offstage. Their mutual love for theater, storytelling, and artistic honesty created a bond that was as creative as it was emotional. Unlike her earlier, much-publicized romances, Hayley and Fergus chose to live quietly, away from the glare of fame. Their world revolved around art, companionship, and shared respect rather than cameras or red carpets. Over the years, their relationship has remained a testament to the kind of love that grows stronger with time, one built on trust, admiration, and an unwavering connection that defies age or fame. As of 2023, the two continue to walk through life side by side, often collaborating on stage and supporting each other's projects with deep affection. Their enduring partnership perfectly mirrors Hayley's lifelong faith in love, resilience, and creative purpose. After facing the dizzying heights and deep valleys of fame, marriage, motherhood, and heartbreak, she has finally found peace in a love grounded in mutual understanding and shared artistry. A beautiful continuation of a life led by both heart and imagination. Now at 79, Hayley Mills has opened up in a rare honesty about her past, breaking years of silence to reflect on one of her most formative relationships. Not romantic, but professional. She's finally speaking about her time working alongside the legendary Irish actress Maureen O'Hara, her on-screen mother in Disney's 1961 classic, The Parent Trap. For decades, fans have wondered about the real connection between the teenage British newcomer and the fiery Hollywood icon. Today, Mills reveals the truth. Maureen was a force of nature, she said with admiration. Strong, direct, and always professional. But beneath that commanding exterior was someone warm, funny, and deeply kind. At just 14, Hayley had been shy and easily intimidated, and meeting O'Hara was like encountering royalty. She describes her vividly, that blazing red hair, the regal posture, and that unforgettable Irish voice. Her very presence seemed to fill every inch of space she entered. By then, Maureen O'Hara was already a Hollywood legend, having starred in masterpieces like The Quiet Man and How Green Was My Valley. She was famous not only for her beauty and talent, but also for her refusal to be controlled in a male-dominated industry. At first, Hayley found her intensity a little overwhelming. She was never harsh, she said, but she demanded excellence. She didn't believe in half-hearted effort. If you were there, you gave your all. Yet what became as intimidation soon turned into admiration. As filming went on, Hayley began to see that O'Hara's strength came from passion. She cared deeply about every scene, every emotion, she explained. She didn't just perform, she lived every moment. Watching her work was like witnessing a masterclass in presence and precision. Every look, every gesture had purpose. Between takes, O'Hara often took time to mentor young Hayley, offering gentle guidance about the craft of acting and the realities of growing up under the spotlight. For Mills, those lessons became priceless, wisdom that shaped not only her career, but her understanding of grace, professionalism, and courage in an industry that rarely offers all three. She once told me something I'll never forget. You have to know who you are, Hayley, before the world tells you who to be. At the time, I didn't fully grasp the weight of those words, but as the years went by, they became a quiet compass I carried through life, both on and off the screen. Behind the bright lights and studio chaos, Maureen O'Hara and I developed a genuine, unspoken friendship. She wasn't the kind to chatter about Hollywood gossip or chase attention. Off camera, she was calm, private, and deeply grounded, the kind of woman whose presence alone commanded respect. What I admired most was her integrity. She stood tall, never bending her morals to fit the moment. There was a quiet strength in her, an unshakable sense of self that made everyone around her want to rise to her level. Yet beneath that iron will was a warmth that could light up an entire room. Her laughter still echoes in my memory, full, rich, and contagious. Whenever the atmosphere on set grew tense, Maureen had a way of easing it. She'd share tales from her early days in Ireland or recount her wild adventures filming alongside John Wayne in the rugged wilderness of the West. Her stories were full of spirit and mischief, and her eyes always had that spark, that twinkle that hinted she wasn't as stern as people thought. As I grew older, I began to understand the quiet battles she fought. Being a woman in Hollywood during her time wasn't easy. She had to fight twice as hard just to earn the respect freely handed to her male co-stars. Many mistook her confidence for arrogance, but it wasn't that at all. It was survival. She demanded to be treated with dignity, and that fierce insistence taught me what true self-respect looked like. Maureen showed me that kindness and strength can coexist, that you can stand your ground without stepping on others. It's a delicate balance, one few ever master, but she did it effortlessly. Looking back now, I realize how much she shaped the person I became, not just the actress, but the woman. When she passed away in 2015, it felt like the end of an era, as if a rare kind of grace had left Hollywood forever. Watching The Parent Trap today brings back more than memories of a movie. I see her smile, hear her voice, and remember those quiet moments when she'd rest a hand on my shoulder and whisper, "You've got this, darling." Those small gestures meant everything. They were lessons wrapped in kindness, lessons I still carry. Maureen wasn't just a co-star. She was a mentor, a protector, and a friend. Working with her wasn't just another chapter in my career. It was one of the greatest gifts of my life. Her spirit still lingers in every laugh, every lesson, and every bit of courage I've ever found within myself. And perhaps that's her truest legacy, reminding us all that real strength doesn't need to shout. It simply shines.